All right, I think this is working now, hopefully. Sorry about the technical issues that we had on the last live stream. It's about almost 15 after, and I'm so sorry. I'm Rachel Tessman from stampyourartout.com, and I'm here to bring you another live paper crafting class. My cameras might be a little crooked. I'm looking at the one that I'm looking at right now, and it's a little wonky. It's been an interesting morning getting this going. Technology, right? So, but I have a very, very fun class ahead, and we want to get going on it because I'm going to make 19 cards. They're quick and easy cards, but I'm going to make 19 in front of you. So thank you for finding my link again, everyone. It obviously it's on my YouTube somewhere. Okay, so I've got people live with me, yay, and Trisha came, yay, awesome. Trisha is my moderator. Please say hello to Trisha Josephs. She's got the little wrench symbol next to her name. That means that she is there to answer questions for you, to kind of guide you in directions for finding information, hopefully to help keep the conversation going. She's also going to draw a prize winner at the end. That's always fun. Today is Wednesday, September 30th. It's the end of the month. It is actually the busiest day of the year, well, one of the busiest days of the year for Stampin' Up! Because we're ending a Stampin' Up! Year and we're starting a new one tomorrow. So got all these things that I'm juggling on my schedule today. But a big welcome to all of you. It's 11 a.m. Central Time. Actually, it's 11:15 a.m. Central Time as I'm broadcasting to you live. So if you are not catching the live and you're seeing it afterwards, you can comment in another section. There's 2 different sections to comment in. So welcome to everybody who's commenting and chiming in. Tell me where you're from. Say hello to each other. Always share your helpful tips and ideas too, because I can't possibly share them all, and I learn things from you. What else? Oh, when you comment, you get entered into a prize drawing. Please subscribe to my channel if you're enjoying my videos. Also, share away. I would love it if you would share and comment if you're sharing, or if you're a new subscriber, or if you're subscribing now after seeing a few of my videos. I'm so grateful for all of you, and I appreciate you joining me. So today I'm going to share how to get up to 95 holiday cards, Christmas holiday cards, from the Tag Buffet Project Kit. It's a kit that is in our seasonal catalog, our August through December 2020 mini catalog. And I'm just going to add some Whisper White cardstock, some envelopes to it, a couple embellishments, and I'm going to show you how to get 95 cards from one kit, up to 95. I'm actually going to demonstrate for making 76, and then we've got some extra leftover supplies, and I'm going to show you what I recommend for doing that so that you can create the extra 19 to get to 95. A little bit of math today, but not difficult math, really. Yes, I love my math. If you are, if you are commenting to somebody, let's say you want to tag Trisha in a comment so that she can answer a question of yours, you can put the ampersand sign, no, not the ampersand, sorry, the @ sign, so the A with the circle around it. Put that before you write out her name, and it will come up with her name so that you can tag her and she can see her name highlighted. And she does the same thing when she's trying to respond to you. What else? A list of products that I'll be using. Those products are found in the description of the video, thankfully, in those 5 minutes between ending the last one that wasn't working and starting up this new stream. I think I was able to copy and paste everything in there that you need. So, and if not, I believe that Trisha has the list of supplies that I'll be using so she can answer your questions while we are live. And if you're watching this after the live, there is a link in the video description that will take you to my blog post, and that blog post will go live right after this video is done. And you'll be able to see all of that information, including measurements, supplies that I'm using that are linked to my online store so you can buy them directly. You'll have photos of all the cards. We're going to have fun today, you guys. What else do I want to mention before we start? I think that is it. So comment away. You get entered into a prize drawing. And if you're commenting after the live, that's okay too, because you get entered into a second prize drawing. So let's bring up the comments that we had from last week. And I'm going to grab something. I need my catalog because I want to refer to this while we are broadcasting here. So let me bring you to that screen. I have to shrink my head a little bit. I was in such a hurry, you guys, that I didn't even shrink my head. You're like, what is she talking about? There's a camera that's going to be in the lower right-hand corner. There it is. And I had to get it out of the way. Thank you to those of you that were watching live for the first time last week. It's always fun to have new live commenters come in. Sheila and Jan and Sandy, it's awesome. Thank you for chiming in. And I love to see where you're from. The UK, Niagara Falls, Nebraska, Rapid City, Modesto, California. So much fun. Oh, and then there was one in here that was mentioned that I wanted to touch on because I was like, oh, right here. Tina Pish, I think is how you say your name. I used to drive to Valparaiso, Indiana a few different times in a period of my life when I was dating somebody who lived out there. So I know exactly where Valparaiso is. Let's see here. Janet. Oh, then these are just some comments that made me smile. I must stop watching you, she said. I'm getting her wish list way too big. Sorry about that, Janet. And Peggy, I'm keeping you in a good addiction. Yay, you're not gambling in the casinos because you're enjoying these videos. So thank you so much. And I'm glad you're enjoying your crafting hobby. It's a healthier addiction. Yes, it is. And then off to the side here, over to the right, let's see, what did Peggy say? I need to order one of oh, so if I brought hers up because she mentioned, I would think I was talking about the bone folder tool. You can purchase the bone folder tool even if it's on back order. You can purchase anything that's on back order. It just means that it will ship out a little later. So always add those things to your order if you're wanting them, because then you'll be one of the first ones to get your item shipped. You pay for it now, but it comes at the time that it is available. So Peggy, I recommend just adding that bone folder right to your list of what you're going to get next time. And Paula asked if the dies should be up or down when you're die cutting. And Tricia did answer that. She said it doesn't matter, or check with your instructions on your die cutting machine. But I've heard that when your die is facing up and your paper is on top of it, that you get a crisper and sometimes more deep cut. I just prefer to cut the other way if I can, because then I can see where I'm placing my die. I hope that helped. And then yes, and I don't know what your official name is, but I'm going to call you Debadoo. I love it, Debadoo. But you had said that, let's see, it's easier to, oh, I think you just mentioned what I said. Yes, easier to cut the sandwich upside down for some reason. And also with cutting glimmer paper in your trimmer, so I'm referring back to last week's video, sorry. When you're cutting glimmer paper in your trimmer, turn the glimmer paper upside down. It will keep the blade going a little bit longer, otherwise you're pushing you're exposing that blade to a lot more of the harshness of the glimmer paper, if that makes sense. Your blades will dull over time, by the way. So whether you're cutting through paper or glimmer paper or whatever, your blades are going to dull and you'll have to replace them every once in a while. Okay, banner. And then we had some comments about making that little banner end. Now we do have a punch that's available to make those little banner ends that we had done last week. I was demonstrating by making a little pencil point and then cutting corner to pencil, corner to pencil. Some people use square punches like Debadoo. Another person says she slits down the middle and then aims towards that end of the slit. There's lots of different ways. I'm so glad that you guys are sharing your comments. And then Margarita asked let's see here, I want to get the starter kit before the end of September. Margarita, you contact your demonstrator. If you don't have one, you can contact me. But yes, contact your demonstrator today, because today is the last day of the Get and Go special. All right, so let's go back to the desktop. I am going to open my catalog first. I'm going to get that set up here so that we are on the right page. Okay, and then I'm going to adjust my camera because I hadn't done that yet. Oh, there we go. So this is the kit. I know, like 10 minutes into the video. This is the kit that I'm going to demonstrate today. It's called the Tag Buffet Kit. There's always so much to share, isn't there? The Tag Buffet Kit, it creates 30 tags. And this is the coordinating stamp set. Now, the nice thing about having the coordinating stamp set separate from your, sorry, I'm just going to make me a little bit bigger because I'm looking kind of small there. Separate from your kit is that if you love your kit, you can purchase multiple kits and then you don't have to worry about extra spending on stamp sets that you don't need. So the stamp set's sold separately, and then you just get kit after kit after kit, and you can use that same stamp set with that kit. So there are some kits, like this one here, is sold, it's inclusive. They call it an inclusive kit because the stamp set comes with it. So it's a little bit harder to justify buying multiples of them when they're inclusive, but there's different reasons for wanting inclusive versus non-inclusive. So that's where you can find it, page 5 of your August through December mini catalog. And I'm going to bring in the tags so you can see they're nice size tags. And they're gorgeous. They've got multi-layers to them. Okay, so we're going to be taking and playing around with the pieces in this kit in order to make some awesome cards. So let's bring in the tag kit and the stamp set so you can see. I'm going to shove these out of the way. Here's the stamp set. Here's how the kit comes. It comes in this gorgeous box. Mine is empty because I've almost used it all up, but you can see it's a decorative box. So it's got the ability to re-gift something in it, or you can make the cards and give the whole gift of cards to somebody, or make the tags and give all the tags to somebody. But yeah, a great gift box for Christmas or the winter holidays with the holly and the berries. You could use it for storage for something else too. It doesn't matter. It's nice and sturdy. And then with your kit, you get your instruction booklet. It includes tips and steps, and includes what's included in the kit and what they suggest for additional items. And then there are pictures. Oh, and it's in multiple languages. And then there are pictures of those 6 different tags telling you how to put them together. So it's a very simple kit though. I mean, you probably don't even need the instructions in order to put them together. So I'm gonna move that out of the way here. And I'm gonna show you one more item. And that is this beautiful designer paper. I've only got a quarter of the pack, but I'm gonna be combining this pack of designer paper. It's called 'Tis the Season, and it's 6x6 designer paper, double-sided. You get 48 sheets. You get 4 of each of the designs. And remember, they're double-sided designs. So these are the 12 different sheets, because 48 divided by 4 is 12. Again, you get 4 times as many of these. So these are the designs on this side. Sorry, I'm just laughing about, again, how it was just so crazy, the start of this video today. I am going to click this little thing out of the way because I want to see if you're still with me. I'm doubting my internet today. Okay, awesome. So these are the designs that you get. I'll show you 6 at a time because that's all I can fan out. Lots of pretty designs, right? And then they're double-sided, so I'm going to flip these over. So there's 12 of the designs, and here are the other 12 designs. And the colors, you have shaded spruce green, which is kind of a cooler green, and you have the garden green, which is a warmer green, and then you have real red in there. You have, oh gosh, what else is in here? Cherry cobbler, so the brighter red versus the deeper red, whisper white, of course, and then there's some other colors like smoky slate, like a gray in there. Yeah, so lots of fun, pretty designs. So I use this to help create the cards that I'm going to share with you today. Okay, now we're going to bring in this wonderful chart, and I'm going to zoom in a bit here. Let's see, that should work. Hopefully you can see that pretty well. Okay, some tag buffet options. I'm going to go through this chart super quick because you can access this on my blog post that's connected to this video. So again, in the video description, you can go there when it goes live at 12:15 p.m. Central Time, and you'll be able to access this, the measurements, photos, etc. So if you do the tags as is, and we're not counting any supplies like adhesives or inks or tools that you might need, like paper snips, trim. Wouldn't need a trimmer, but scissors to cut your twine, that sort of thing. We're not counting those. So the tag kit itself in the U.S. costs $30, and the stamp set costs $18. So if you take those two and no shipping and tax, add those together and divide by 30, it comes out to be $1.60 per tag, which sometimes is hard to justify when you're making gift tags. It's kind of pricey for a gift tag, right? But if you decided that you wanted to add an extra kit, okay, so you got 2 of those kits and 1 stamp set, then you're reducing the cost a little bit. It's coming out to be $1.30 per tag. So if you're really loving the tags, the more kits you buy, the less expensive they are per tag, if that makes sense. And then if you decided to turn them into cards, just straight cards, by going like this, taking your tag and going like this with it, just putting it onto a Whisper White base, then you're investing in a little bit of cardstock, you're investing in the envelopes, and you're coming out with 1 box, 1 stamp set, and the envelopes and cards. It comes out to be $2.13 per card for 30 cards, right? By the way, if you're going to do it this way, I recommend doing the thick cardstock because you get 48 card bases. 24 sheets cut in half comes out to be 48 card bases, and you would have enough for 30 cards that way. But I'm going to show you how to do it by adding even a few more supplies and splitting that kit into lots of different pieces so that we can make 76 cards plus 6 tags, or up to 95 cards. Okay, so what you would need for that is the kit. Sorry, got to keep that in the camera there. You would need the kit, you would need the stamp set, you would need some envelopes, and depending, if you want to go for the 95, you would need more envelopes, right? Times 3, because there's 40 in a pack. So 40 times 2 is 80. 40 times 3 is 120. There's where my math is. If you're going to go for the 76 and then use those leftover supplies to make just 6 tags like I've shown you, like this, then you can go ahead and go with the regular Whisper White cardstock, which will be more affordable because you'll need less sheets. You'll need 80 card bases, which is what you could get from those from that pack of 40 sheets of regular Whisper White. Or if you're going to do 95 cards, then 80 card bases is not going to be enough. I would then recommend buying 2 of the thick because you'll save a little bit of money. You can see the difference between the 2 packs. And then I'm going to add in, of course, the designer paper that I showed you, and some glitter enamel dots and some shimmer ribbon, some gold shimmer ribbon. Either way, it's coming out to be about $1.20, $1.21 each for those cards, depending on which direction you go with it. Okay, so you go either way. So the last thing I want to show you on this sheet, and I won't go over each one of these, but these are extra supplies that you would need, and I'm not counting them. I'm not counting the fact that you would need some inks. These are the ones that are recommended. Shaded Spruce, Real Red, Garden Green. You'd need adhesives. You'd need some basic tools like your trimmer, your blocks for your stamps and that sort of thing. Okay, we're gonna move that and we're gonna get started. So what I did to create these cards, and what I do for a lot of my kits when I double, triple, or go beyond to see if I can get the most out of a kit, is I take and I separate out the supplies. So let me get those right in the camera. I'm gonna zoom out just a tad here. So I'm going to go over my thinking process. Move those. There we go. Okay, so these are the main embellishments that sit on top. These are some tag pieces that go underneath them. Oh, I'm going to zoom out even more, aren't I? I will. Hang on. Okay, we'll scoot those up just a tad. Bring those in. Got to see it all, right? I gotta keep my head out of there. And then these are the bottom pieces. Now the labels are the fourth layer, and I've kind of taken those layers. Sorry, I can't get them all in, can I? I've kind of taken those, I'll shrink my head. How does that sound? We'll just put that back down a little. There, okay. So I've taken these labels and I've kind of spread them out here and there. Did that after I took and figured out what I had in the kit. And I said, I can make, gosh, 18 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. Because your kit actually provides you with an extra set of trees. I don't know why. We just have a bunch of extra trees. So all of these supplies times 4 is what you get in your kit. No, times 5. Sorry, times 5. So 19 times 5 equals those 95 cards. But when we divide that designer paper, it gets a little messy with dividing by 5. So that's why I took an extra set of supplies and got them out of the way. So I had this times 4 to get 76. So just imagine all of these shoved aside temporarily. You can decide if you want to make tags with them after, or you can decide if you want to make an extra set of cards. And I'll show you how to make that extra set of cards. I just don't have those finished, but I'll show you what to pair them up with. That'll be towards later. But for now, these are the 19 times 4 cards, okay? So then I took my papers, my designer papers, and I analyzed them. Oh my gosh, I had these spread all over my my bed because that was the biggest space I had to spread everything. And I just started pairing everything up. So I put this piece with that, and I'm you know what, I'm gonna go backwards. How does that sound? We're just gonna go backwards because then I can make a stack. So these two went together, these two, and I'm just gonna, let's see here, this one, I'll flip these over. So this one and this one, this one and this one. And you'll notice I only had tags paired up with a few of these down here. 3 of them don't have these extra white tags. You'll get to see how I make the sentiment part of the card come together on those soon. This one and this one. You can see, I mean, I was really looking close at the colors. Like this is a brighter red, so I wanted that to be with a brighter paper rather than a darker red paper. This is the real red, this is the cherry cobbler. So I really had to look hard at my different patterns, especially with those tags. And then with these, I kind of, you know, had a little bit more ease. So I paired them like that. These two had the white tags on them because there was no space to put a sentiment there, and I wanted my sentiments on the front of my card. But these have places to put sentiments, so I wasn't too worried about that. In fact, I was able to do kind of a busier paper with them too. This one I paired with that, and then of the ones up here, yep, you can still see them. This one just had a weird middle, so I had to give that one a label piece because I kind of wanted something going through the middle of that. It just was kind of funky. So that one with this, that one with this. And again, you'll see pictures of the finished cards on my blog, plus I'm gonna make them with you right now. So that's why we're going fast through this. This one with this, and again, my extra tree. Yay, so I've got those all paired up, okay? And that took me like all evening to do once. And then I had to decide which direction I wanted my cards to go. So I have a few that are landscape or horizontal, and I have a few that are vertical or portrait. So, and you'll just see how I pair them as we go. Let me quickly, for those of you who are beginning stampers, beginning paper crafters, you can totally do this. These are very simple cards. You can get your, all your Christmas cards from this one kit, okay? So let me show you how you do your cardstock. If you're a beginning stamper, you've got 8.5 by 11 cardstock. you're going to insert it into your trimmer, bring it to the 5.5 inch mark, and I'll zoom in here so you can see. Here's 5.5. I gotta show you guys the measurements in metric too. I've got those today. Yay! Okay, I'm excited. Okay, so I'm bringing this to the 5.5 inch mark. I'm using imperial measurements or inches right now. Okay, we're gonna score it down the middle. Notice this is landscape right now, or horizontal. We're scoring horizontal. We're gonna cut vertical. So now we're gonna bring it halfway, and that's 4.25 inches. And we use our cutting blade and we slice. This will give you 2 cards that fold in this direction, okay? Going the opposite way, we're gonna insert it so it's vertical or portrait. We're gonna bring those blades out of the way. We're bringing it to 4.25, so it's the same measurements, but this time we're going to score in this direction and we're going to cut in this direction. When you do the scoring first and then the cutting, you're getting it done a lot quicker because you're scoring 2 of them at the same time, okay? All right, and then we'll cut at 5.5 inches, and now we have 2 card bases that are going in this direction. And you'll notice I flipped them over because you can see, you wanna look at the bottom of your card, and if you can see the back section, you'll wanna flip it over. It just looks nicer. So we'll fold, and we're ready to go. Measurements. Let me bring those up on the screen. Get that out of the way. Oh my gosh, that was because we had some corrections to make here. Okay, so I'm gonna move over to the computer again. All right, here we go. So these are the measurements that you will need if you're gonna make all the cards. So I didn't do it per set of 19. I did it if you're gonna do 76 cards or 95, and 95 is in parentheses. Again, I just showed you how to do your scoring and cutting of your bases of your Whisper White. For your 'Tis the Season designer paper, you're gonna cut it down the middle, and then you're going to cut it just short of the furthest length of your cardstock. So in inches, that is 5.25 inches instead of 5.5. And in centimeters, you can see down here, that's 14.2 centimeters instead of 14.8. Then we have ribbon that we're bringing in, and you can see, so I won't read through all the measurements, but you can do a quick screenshot or you can wait until the blog goes live. But those are the measurements that you would need if you're gonna be working in inches or imperial or the metric system for centimeters, okay? And then you can see all the supplies off to the left here. We don't really need a lot. Let's go back to the desktop and start. Yay! Okay, so my first card is gonna be going in this direction. So super simple, super easy. I'm gonna bring in my seal adhesive, and I'm just gonna run that along the back side. You only need 1 in each corner, but I had to get my seal going. Sometimes you have to run it for a little bit and then it catches again. All right, so now we're gonna set that down here so that we have about 1/8 of an inch, or what would that be in centimeters? 0.3 centimeters maybe, I don't know. But you have a little border around there that looks even. The tree, I'm going to add, oh, before you stick this down, Rachel, oh my gosh. We can do it, we can do it. It hasn't quite bonded yet. Maybe. I'm keeping it real, you guys. Technology issues. Oh, you know why? Because I put seal all the way across the bottom. See, that's why you don't do that. But there's twine in this kit. We'll just do it. We can do this. We can do it. So you want 7 inches of twine, and we're going to tuck that. So now we need to put a little bit of seal adhesive going in this direction. We're going to tuck one piece here, wrap it. You know what? I can stick that down. Put the twine and ribbon on first. And tuck this one over here. There, we did it. And now we can put the dimensionals on our tree. Okay, I'm gonna slow down and breathe. Phew. I'm actually going to do some stamping right now because this is what I would recommend. Don't do what I do. I was just in such a hurry to get started. Okay, we are inking up our Merry Christmas sentiment in the garden green color. And we're gonna stamp that. We're gonna position our tree where we know it's gonna sit, and then we're gonna stamp this up here, making sure we have room for it. My recommendation for those of you that are newer to stamping is to stamp first and then add everything, attach everything. Because if you make a mistake, you can always flip something over. All right, so we're gonna put our tree down here. And then the last thing is we're gonna grab about 6 inches of twine and we're gonna tie a little bow. So I just make a little loop, go over the top of the loop, bring it through that little rabbit hole, and I've got a cute little bow ready to go. These are very thin, so what you could do is you could tie it directly onto your twine, which my twine is loose because I didn't put it on first. Hang on. I'm gonna lift this up again. We're gonna tighten that. So you could put it directly onto your twine up here, or you could tie it separately like I showed you, and you can glue it on with a glue dot. Because the twine is so super skinny, glue dots sometimes have to be cut in half, which can get kind of fussy, or you can use like the glue dots that come in like paper pumpkin kits, or some of the other kits sometimes include miniature glue dots. They're tinier, flatter ones, but we're just gonna tie it on like that. So that would be your finished first card. Super easy, right? If you're somebody who likes to put photos in your holiday cards, you could put a photo on the inside here or here and sign it in the other white space. All right, next card. The next one is also gonna be horizontal. But this time I'm gonna be smarter. I'm gonna lay my pieces where I want them to go. So those are gonna go there. And then I'm going to clean off my stamp. We have a couple different ways that you can clean your stamps, by the way. You can clean it with this device called a Stamp and Scrub and use Stamp and Mist on it. Or you can use what's called a Simply Chamois, which is a little spongy thing that you can get wet with water and then clean your stamps off with. So I've cleaned off my stamp. We'll set that over here. We're ready for the next ink. And the next ink is gonna be in Real Red. So we're gonna ink that up in Real Red. Notice, by the way, that my image is stained a little bit with my Real Red ink. These are totally clear stamps. They're called photopolymer stamps. And they're more absorbent than the typical rubber stamp that you would see, or that we used to see, because there's a lot more of these coming out. But they're more porous, so even though they're see-through and much easier to position and use, they do absorb ink color, and it causes staining. Some people take and ink theirs up in clear ink called Versamark ink. You could totally do that. That would allow you to have kind of, you could fill in those little pores, I guess, with the clear ink. It prevents some of the staining. I don't find it does a lot to prevent the staining. We're doing that again, aren't we? Rachel, slow down. We need our twine, 7 inches of twine, and 6 inches of twine. I'm eyeballing it. You guys like that? I'm eyeballing it. It's about that much. It doesn't have to be exact. But yeah, it'll kind of reduce some of the staining. At least some people say that. But I don't find that it's a lot of reduction, so I don't tend to worry about that too much. Okay, so I've got my twine on there, and it's set in the back. I'm going to lay that on here, press that down, put my tree on next with my dimensionals. And then the last thing is just to add that bow again. I'm going to show you how to cut your glue dots in half for this one though, if you want to do that. So this one, just for, you know, just for a different look, I thought, hey, it's going to be fun to put our trees kind of on opposite sides, right? So there's that. And for this one, let's do that loop over the top, bring it through, and then you can adjust the ends. Here are our glue dots. Now, if you're gonna cut a glue dot in half, I recommend doing it on the sheet of glue dots. But did you see what I just did? I exposed all of those glue dots. So when you do that, you wanna keep this extra paper here and wrap it back around your glue dots so you're protecting your glue dots, okay? So what you do is you cut it on the sheet, and they're gonna get a little gummy. So we'll use our paper scissors for that. Oh, that one worked. Okay, so it didn't cling to my scissors. Sometimes it clings to your scissors and then you have issues with getting it off your scissors. But at this point, I can bring in my little take your pick tool, grab it with the end of that. I can set it down here, and it actually adds a little bit more grab onto your card because now our twine is going to stay in place a little bit better. This is actually how I did my initial cards, and it's the way I recommend doing it if you can deal with it. But again, you have to kind of roll that glue dot, make it skinny in order to get your card like that. That's the second one. The third one is very similar. We're going to use these pieces and this one, and we are stamping a different stamp image. This time we've got our image that says "With Love for You." So that is going to get stamped in, what color am I using? Oh, the third color, Shaded Spruce. So we've got our Shaded Spruce. We're going to position our paper here. We're going to stamp down here. Always lay your pieces out. It helps to know where they're going to go. And we'll stamp it down. So at this stage, we would then take the twine, measure out our 7 inches. We're going to put our adhesive on the back side. And we're going to attach this here. So do you notice that I'm doing kind of a different, oh, I don't have enough adhesive up there, a different little layout on each card. They're not all looking exactly the same. So it's going to give you options by me sharing these ideas with you of how you can do that. There's that. I just don't have enough sticky, maybe. Not getting into the right spaces. Okay, so this is going to go up here. So see, now I've shifted this paper to a totally different spot. And this piece is going to go off to the left. 3 dimensionals is all you need. So that will go down here. I've got my boys talking up there. And then we're going to bring in this. So we're not going to do a bow this time. We're going to bring in something called gold glitter enamel dots. And we're just going to take a few of them. Hey Luke, I'm live. He's up there starting to sing. And I don't know what you guys can hear, but I just thought, well, before he gets too loud. All right. So those you could add on like that. So it's just a different way. Instead of a bow, we've got some fun glitter enamel dots. Okay, the next one. The next one's not going to use twine. It is going to be another horizontal card. And we're going to add the adhesive along the back here. And I think I'm going to do this now. And then we're going to add our ribbon. So this is another embellishment that I suggested bringing in. It's our gold shimmer ribbon. And you'll need, again, 7 inches. And we're going to make that go all the way to the top, just 'cause. So there's that going across the very top of our designer paper. Okay? So at this point we can take and put adhesive over the top of it too, and that'll help hold it down. Let us position this paper and kind of get an idea where our cardinal is going to go. We have plenty of room for our Merry Christmas, which will be stamped in red again, so we don't need to worry about cleaning it off. And that is going to go off to the upper left. Flip this over. Stick it down. I just thought of something that might be like really bad if it happens to you. Make sure your card opens the right way, okay? Before you start sticking things down. All right, your cardinal then can go up on dimensionals. That one probably only needs a couple. And I think I'm actually going to put a glue dot under this ribbon, just to kind of make sure that it's going to hold down. Okay, and we'll stick our cardinal over here. And then we'll add the glitter enamel dots. We're going to do a large right about here. We'll do a next in line size, which is medium. So there's 4 different sizes on these dots, if you can see that here. The second to the smallest, and then the last one, which is the tiniest. You get 2 of each, and oh my gosh, you get a lot of these. I love these. These are one of my favorites. So that's how I would suggest decorating that one. The next card is going to be done similarly. At this point, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the sentiment and talk about that, but I'm going to show you another finished card that I already have off to the side. This one would also be horizontal with the gold ribbon going across the bottom this time. Our ornament's going to come in here, but if we center it, we're not going to have room for the sentiment, but we do have this huge space. So I thought, let's just put it right on that huge space. And we're going to use our shaded spruce ink. And when I stamp this on here, you're going to see something that's interesting that takes place. So we have a little bit of a resist at the top of the S there. Do you see that? The gold foil is resisting there. So you'll want to just make sure that you kind of blot that away so that the ink doesn't smear. Just kind of put your hand there, and eventually it's going to dry and it's not even going to affect anything. So that's going to go on there. We're going to put a couple glitter enamel dots on there, and you're going to come up with a card that looks like this. So this one is up on dimensionals. Okay. Now the insides of the cards are looking kind of right? They're not going anywhere. But there is a stamp in this set that is perfect for the inside. So if you want to stamp the inside of your cards, you can do that too. And again, a photo. I mean, people love photos at Christmas, right? So you can quick whip together those cards. Okay, that one's done. And then this next one is going to be, now notice, I don't know if you saw this, but my pile of my horizontal or landscape cards disappeared. So all the rest of these are going to now be in portrait or vertical version. So we've got the stocking. The stocking is going to get that shimmer ribbon, and it's not going to go right up to the edge, although you could do it right up to the edge if you want. The stocking is going to get stuck here, and that's it, because it's just so super cute by itself. You don't need much more on that card, and you get a look that looks like this. And I love how there's gold foiling on the actual pieces from the kit. So you don't just have the gold shimmer from the ribbons or from the accent pieces. You have them on the actual elements from the kit. that's that one. Okay, the next one is going to be done with these pieces. So here is where I thought it was wise to take our, and we haven't done the with love one yet, right? Yep. So we're going to stamp with love in this tiny little space, and yes, it does fit. So far, all of these pieces have been up on dimensionals. On this card, I'm going to stick this flat. I have no ribbon or twine behind it, so it's just going flat onto the card base, like that. But again, this is kind of funky in the middle. So this piece is going to go up on dimensionals and sit right in that spot there. And this is the card that you end up with. Added a couple gold glitter enamel dots. Okay? All right, next card. So now we have kind of done all of those shape pieces. We're going to bring in the white tag pieces. And I believe, yes, I used this one in the shaded spruce color. So we're going to go ahead with the shaded spruce again. And we're going to stamp this right in the middle. So I would do that on a few of my tags, just stamp right in the middle, because your Whisper White ones have that room for your sentiments. Then on my card, and I will actually assemble this one, I'm going to put this piece off to the left, and in fact I'm going to stick it down right now. So that's going to go off to the left here. This is going to go up on dimensionals, but before I put it on dimensionals, I'm going to stamp another image. So there are these little holly leaves in there, and you can see on this paper I've got kind of a holly leaf pattern going in there. So I'm going to take the leaves and I'm going to stamp them once up here and again off to the side like that, so that these look a lighter shade than the other ones. So I've stamped off. And then this piece is going to go on dimensionals on top of the card, being sure not to put your adhesive where the holes are, because those are actually holes. You can see through them. Okay, so you can see my hand back there. Maybe you can't. Okay, so this will go on here. And then for that extra touch of gold, we're going to add a little 3-inch piece of this ribbon. So I'm just going to tie it in a knot. I'm not going to tie it tight. If I tie it tight, it might add too much bulk to my card when I'm mailing it. Plus, I really like the look of seeing that knot there. And if you tie it too tight, it just becomes this tiny little thing that's rock hard and it's not fun. So we're going to stick that on with a glue dot. Remember, we've got our glue dots exposed, so we can just push this onto our glue dot and pick it up. And I think I'll angle this one this way. And then we can come in and trim up the ends of our ribbon. All right, so there's that finished card. And the other one is very similar to it. I would do the same thing. Stick this to the left, put this here. This time though, I would take the little leaf image and stamp that in the garden green. Stamp, stamp without re-inking. Stamp the message in garden green. And this is what that one came out to look like. Fun, right? And then we have this next one, which is also very similar. So this one would get paired up in this way, like that, with the shimmer ribbon at the top again. This time I didn't do any stamping on the side. Stamp the sentiment in the red color because red and green, you know, it's just kind of fun to accent, you know, they're complementary colors. So if you have red and green both on the card, it just kind of vibrates a little bit more. And then to do the accenting instead of stamping, I did the gold glitter enamel dots. So there's that. This one, same thing, pretty much the same thing. And it turned out to look like that. On the next one, I stamped my 'Tis the Season, and I'm going to clean this up. I stamped my 'Tis the Season in red onto a tag. And then I stuck this tag up on dimensionals onto this piece, because this piece you can't stamp directly onto. Okay? So I just stuck that on like this. Now there are holes underneath. Those stars, a few of them, are holes. So you can see how I can make the stars go red, or I could make them turn green with white on them, depending on what you put underneath. So I thought the red stars just looked great. That's why I went with that. And those got stuck on like this, but this time instead of doing a knot with the ribbon, I did a bow with the twine. And I stuck this piece down flat. And on the second one, instead of going flat, I put both up on dimensionals. So this is up on dimensionals and this is. So that's how I did those. We are on to the last 6 cards here. All right, the next one is done with the colorful tags. Colorful tags now. So this piece would get stuck down here. This piece goes on here. And this piece goes across here. And I stuck this up on dimensionals and this up on dimensionals. And then notice there's a little hole here. And if they're already popped out, then you really don't have a choice. But if they're not popped out, you could choose to leave that put in there if you want to. So it looks like a full sheet. But I popped it out on mine. And I stuck my twine up there. Stamped this with the real red color. And I got this card. Isn't that fun? So these last 6 cards, this one and the 5 others, are going to have these bright, beautiful papers. And so I wanted something that was a little more subdued on a couple of them because they're very wild patterns, or not wild, but you know, busier patterns, right? So for this card, did the same thing. I paired it up with the more subtle background. I put the tag going diagonally across just because, again, you can position these however you want on your finished cards. Okay, so then my next one had a short piece on it. At this point, I want to tell you that your kit does come with some additional pieces. Those pieces look like, and I don't have them in front of me, I guess. Oh, here they are. Those additional pieces are your tag pieces. So if you want to, you can change up, you know, a card here and there with your extra pieces, but these are intended to be used in case you make a mistake. So that's what those are for. But this one would get stamped, and I put it kind of off to the right on this finished card. And I also positioned my tag off more to the right too. So that's how that one looks, and I've got my knot going down this time. All right. The last 3, I brought in a punch. So oops, where is it? Here it is. I'm having an issue with my bra strap. Sorry, you guys. It's not good to be sharing that. Okay, so this one, I said, oh my gosh, wouldn't it be fun if we just took and punched right in the center and flip that circle over, and now we have a place to stamp our sentiment. So on this card, I did that. So that's how that one turned out. And the thing with this one and the other 3, the other 2, so 3 of the 3 last ones, is I've got double dimensionals on here. I've stacked my dimensionals twice to make this piece raised up higher. Another thought on that is you could maybe have no dimensionals on it and have it sink into the hole that you've punched out, but that's how I did that one. And then the next one, same thing. Oops. Very much the same thing. So that paired up with these, and that looks like this. But on the last one, these pieces here, I played around with the punch again. And I said, oh, look at that. it positions halfway in. So I could actually have my circle, instead of being lower, I could have it be higher. So I positioned it higher, punched away, and that's how I got my sentiment piece to be positioned higher than the other ones. Okay? So there is that finished card. I'm going to close these inks before I make a mess. So what did we do with the extra pieces? Because those 19 cards that I just showed you times 4 equals 76. And again, your designer paper is not going to split very evenly. So you're going to have some extra designer paper though. You're going to have enough to make 96 cards if you want, but we don't have enough kit pieces. So what I did is I took the leftover papers and I paired them up in a different way. So this one, you know, you cut that paper in half. I would pair this one up with this. So these are my suggestions. The trees with the green. These with the, I don't know, what is that? Mistletoe. Again, you're cutting these papers in half, okay? Those would be paired up with this design. These two could be paired up with this one. And I don't have images of these pairs on my blog, so you'll just have to go with it. And those, I noticed that my blog is probably going to go live any minute here. Those and the last one. That's how I would pair them up. And now we have our finished cards, 76 plus those extra ones, if you wanted to, could create your 95 total. These are a couple other items that I wanted to share with you before we leave. Some items that I've made and I shared on my blog on Monday. So just using the stamp set, not the kit, but the stamp set to make a couple fun items. So your stamp set can be used afterwards, even when you're done making all of these cards. Oh my goodness sakes, right? That was a long video today. We've got some prize winners from last week. Those prize winners get to have, if they contact me, some bling. So rhinestones and some glitter enamel dots. So these two names that I pull up are going to win those prizes. Thank you for commenting after the video went live. And then the prize winner from today, and of course we'll have 2 more drawn afterwards, will get a set of note cards, which are great to pair up with different kits to make your kits go further. You'll get a set of note cards and you'll get a sheet of dimensionals. Fun, 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 fun. So let me go to the computer screen and share with you our winners from last week. Yay! Congrats to Jean and Kara, or Kara, I'm not sure how you say your name. I loved your comment, by the way, Kara. In fact, I remember responding to this too. So sweet. She's going to use my video as a teaching video. Maybe not today's. It went a little long. What else do I want to share with you before let me make sure I've got everything here. Okay, so this will be shared on my blog as well. So you can access that sheet if you want it. And what else do I want to tell you? The Get and Go Kit. The Get and Go Kit, today is the last day if you want to sign up to get a continual discount, get the demonstrator discount, become a discount shopper. There is a link to signing up for my community in the description of this video. And the Get and Go Kit I described last week and we did a whole video on it. So I hope you saw that. It's just some extra fun supplies thrown in. Today is September 30th. It's the last day to take advantage of that. If you already have a demonstrator, please contact them about the Get and Go Kit if you have questions. It's again up to $125 worth of product for $99 plus tax plus the extra goodies. And this is my blog address in case you would like to visit me, stampyourartout.com. You can shop for any or all of these products there. And I think, gosh, we got to go and find out who Trisha pulled up, don't we? Because she has announced the live winner. The live winner is Linda Jones. Congrats to Linda. you are the winner of the note cards and dimensionals. Now, if you live outside the US, I can't ship product, but I have a couple other options for you. So if Linda happens to not be a US resident, we've got other things that we can send your way. And thank you, Tricia, for commenting to Linda that she needs to contact me at stampyourartout at comcast.net. That is my email address. All the prize winners, if you can reach out to me, it's much easier for me to get you the prizes that way. Next week will be what day? I didn't even revise my notes. I think it'll be October 6th. Yes. We will see you next week for our next YouTube Live at 11 a.m. Central Time. Thank you all for watching. Now I'd like you all to go and stamp your art out. Bye-bye.